Welcome to Empowered by AI, the podcast for women entrepreneurs ready to harness AI to take their businesses to the next level. I'm your host, Michelle Muncy-Silva, founder of Innovative AI Studios. You may have left corporate life to start this entrepreneurial journey, but you don't have to go it alone. Here, you'll find a supportive community of like-minded women and an invaluable thought partner each week, as my guests and I share actionable insights you can use right away. So let's dive in together.
All right, Miss Tracey, huh? So excited to talk to you. How are you?
I'm exhausted, but happily exhausted, and I am happy to be here with you.
I love it. I love it. I want to give you a minute to introduce yourself, and maybe in that introduction, you can explain a little bit of that exhaustion.
Okay, I am Tracy, the safety lady, and I have been in business for 30 years this year. I get the honor of traveling the country, teaching people how to live and how to work safely. And ever since ChatGPT reared its head in November of 2022, I have been teaching people how to use generative AI in a safe way. We talk about data protection, and then the big thing that I'm talking about, I get to do show and tell, is I'm showing how cyber criminals are using the tools to scam and defraud us. That means deepfakes, that means social engineering, phishing emails, and people just don't know. So I am more passionate to teach. And the reason that I am happily exhausted is this week I got to teach a summer boot camp for kids from 5 to 15. I had 3 classes from age, and I don't know how to say this, but it was exhilarating, yet their kids have a lot of energy, and I love it. So I match their energy. So I'm just a little tired, but I am happily exhilarated, happily tired because the kids didn't know about AI. So I got to teach them how to, first of all, be an author. So we wrote a book. So all of them became authors. I taught them how to write a song. Some of them even performed their songs. So they were singer-songwriters. So every single kid that I got to touch can now say that they've used AI. They know how to use it, but more importantly, they know how to use it safely and to protect themselves from the bad guys. I told them no personal information, and I showed them. I love show and tell. So I had to show them like deep fakes and what to watch out for. And we talked about the voice impersonation phone calls. But Michelle, it was the exact same thing that I teach adults, whether it's just individuals. I've done it for senior citizens and for businesses. It's the exact same conversation. I am teaching to embrace these tools, use them. They will not replace us if we know how to use them to enhance what we offer, and to just embrace them because they're not going anywhere, but be sure to use them in a safe way. So that's what I get to do. And I love every day I wake up and I get to talk about it. So today is a good day.
I love it. I love it. And I know that you do also work a lot with adults, and you often say that cybersecurity is a people problem. And so if we've got entrepreneurs that are rushing to integrate AI, they're feeling like maybe they want to get something in place into their workflows. What are some of those common behaviors that unintentionally are putting them at risk?
Okay, and I'm glad you brought that up because there are 2 kinds of people. And I get to reach thousands every year. I reach thousands of people, so I love that I have a big platform. What I am finding is there are 2 groups of people. One is the group that says, "Oh, yeah, I don't know about that AI. It's the devil. It's going to take over the world, and I'm not touching it. I don't believe in it." And then you have the others, which you just spoke of, and those are the ones that say, "Yes, let's embrace this. Let's get going." I had an opportunity to talk to a bank here locally, and it's a national bank. We had 800 people on. So that told me people wanted to show up and find out about AI. So what I have to say is if you're excited about it, do like the bank did. They have a governance committee. So they have a committee before they roll it out to all employees. They have a governance committee, and they're talking about, here's how we're going to roll it out in a safe way. And then my job is to come in and to say, hey, here's what you need to know. And so that's where we talk about the privacy issues. I talk about not uploading financial or private or proprietary information. People are excited about getting that invoice, uploading it, and creating a beautiful spreadsheet or a chart or graph. And I have to say, time out. Redact the name, redact that information, because you don't want the people who work at the AI companies who are learning, who are training on our material. They don't need to see that. And if it gets out into the public, into the wild, then all of a sudden you have a data breach. And we've seen companies, one of the cell phone companies, they had a data breach. And because their employees got excited, they were using it, but no one told them to wait one moment. Let's learn how to use it safely. No one talked to them about that. So that's what I get to do. And then we also talk about the rules. If you are writing content and it's public, the FTC is involved. They're in your business now. So you need to understand that whatever you write, first and foremost, you must fact check it because AI hallucinates. And Michelle, another word for hallucination is lies. It makes up stuff. It lies. And people don't know that. So they're copying and pasting away and then publishing or sending out this information. And then the FTC says, wait a minute, if you publish something or you have something that is false and it's a misrepresentation, you could be in trouble. If you're a member of an industry, I do a lot of work for the real estate associations. There is a code of ethics that says anything that you publish, it must be factual, and you can't exaggerate or misrepresent that. So one of the reasons we use the tools is because they help us write great descriptions or something that we're not able to do on our own, but it could be fluffy and flowery and really energetic. But most people don't understand that you have to fact check it. So that's another thing. So during that conversation with those new business owners who are excited, make sure you understand that you have to fact check everything. And then secondly, that information is not public. And then you also need anyone, all hands on deck. And like you said, it's a people problem. So right here, I have my device, and I'll bet every single person has a device just like this somewhere. This device will not infect itself with malware or viruses. It takes a human, a person, in order to click something, to download something, in order for it to be infected. So that's why I say it's a people problem, because we are the ones, we have to do something in order to be a victim of cybercrime. Whether it's download something, click a link. So that's another part of the training that these businesses, you have all your employees who are excited. Everyone's on their laptop and their phones and they're creating content and they're doing work. But you must have the conversation about fact checking it and making sure that you're not putting private or proprietary information out in the wild.
And that brings up a really good point, because I know in one of your pieces, I've been following you on LinkedIn, in one of your articles, you cited that 51% of organizations only increase security after a breach. So why do you think prevention is still such a hard sell? How do we change that mindset?
That is the bane of my existence, Michelle. I've been in business for 30 years, and I don't just talk about generative AI cybersecurity. I do personal safety workshops. We talk about awareness, instinct. If you see this book over my shoulder, The Gift of Fear, that's one of the best books ever. It should be required reading. If you read it, you almost never can be a victim of any kind of crime. But I talk about every single animal in nature has a built-in survival mechanism that is hardly ever wrong. It's our gut. Instinct, intuition, fight or flight, spidey sense, sixth sense, whatever you want to call it. Every animal has it. The humans are the only ones who ignore it. So if someone told us, be aware, be alert, and just listen to that voice, you can apologize, get out of the situation later, but don't worry about being embarrassed. We can solve a lot of problems right up front. But human nature is that nothing is going to happen to me. It's not going to happen here. That doesn't happen here. It won't happen to my business. I'm too small, or I'm just one person in a small town. Criminals aren't looking for me. That's the problem, because it doesn't happen here, or it doesn't happen to people like you, or it doesn't happen to businesses like you until it happens. And then people are reactionary. I'm here in Kansas City, Missouri, and I want to say about 15 or so years ago, we had a serial rapist. And before that, it's always twisting arms. Let me come in and talk about safety. But after the serial rapist was still on the loose, is terrorizing one of our neighborhoods here, everybody wanted to talk to Tracey, the safety lady. So I was popular. I was everywhere. Every TV station showed up. Every room was full after the fact. And that's what my goal is, to prevent that. Everything, almost every crime that happens can be prevented. And like you said, that's a hard sell because human nature is reactionary. So I find a lot of my career is chasing people and saying, okay, now it's happened. Let's keep it from happening again. But the problem with the cybersecurity is the average breach is going to cost about $4 million. So you got hacked. You didn't do anything up front because you don't want to invest in cybersecurity because it won't happen. Now you have a breach. Now it's in the headlines. Now you have to notify all of your customers, hey, your information on our server, our laptop is out there in the whole entire world. I'm sorry for the whole entire world to see. I'm sorry. So now you have to bring experts in. Now you will do it because you have to. You will bring in someone like me to say, let's do this so it won't happen again. You'll bring in someone to get your system back up. You have to deal with the most important part of it. That is the cost of your personal reputation. Who wants to do business with a business that had all of their clients' data out there? So that's the battle that I fight all the time. Michelle, telling people it's better to be proactive in your personal life as well as in your business life. And Real quickly, I had one thing that was a light bulb moment. After trying to get hired by a business, she said, "Hey, my people won't show up for any kind of training unless you're teaching them how to make more money." It's like, wait a minute. You acknowledge that my training could save lives and you know it's a good investment, but you're saying, sorry, I can't hire you because my people will not show up. So I had to put on my thinking cap and I had to say, how do I get business people to show up, salespeople to show up? So I had to find a way to make safety about increasing profits, about making money. I had to do it. So I built a program, all of my programs now, if you'll notice, every single program, I am saying, here's how you build your business while working safely. So you're going to be a safe salesperson, but here's how you protect the consumer. Here's how you create content that's safety and security related, because 100% of every adult on the face of the earth cares about being safe, keeping their family, their homes, and their possessions safe. So talk about safety. Let that be your calling card when you're talking to them about any business. And then basically protect the consumer and build that into your business model. That's going to help the consumer be more loyal. They're going to pick you over the person who's not talking about safety. So that has become my business model, Michelle. I am saying build your business, be safe, but protect the consumer so that you can make more money and more profits. And that seems to resonate. They won't do it to avoid the crime, but they'll do it to make more money. I have to meet people where they are.
Yeah. And I'm wondering how you envision women entrepreneurs specifically. How can they use this mindset as that differentiator in their industry?
And what you just said right there, that's it. This is your differentiator. Here you are as a woman business, a woman-owned business, and I've been doing this. And one thing that I think I shared with you is that sometimes I feel invisible in this world, in this work that I do. And I know that I am qualified. I know the results of what I say work because I've got the feedback. I have over 400 videos of people telling me after they've completed my class that the class was great. And I have tons of written comments. So I know I'm good. So I think people have to have that mindset first and foremost, own it. We're not bragging, we're owning it. So first and foremost, own who you are. And then secondly, show who you are. And this is where I say every conversation should have safety as a component of it. And some people think maybe that, and I hear it all the time, that women are more intuitive and that they relate more to that, even though everyone has intuition. So I say, if that's the case, lean into it. When you have your first client meeting, when you're marketing, say, hey, I just want to let you know that I am aware of data breaches, and I know you see the news, deepfakes, and you see all of these scams and fraud headlines. I want you to know that I've been trained and that your information is safe with me. And I guarantee you, no other business owner that they're talking to is saying that. And you can say, my goal is to make sure you're not a victim. So I'm taking an extra step and I'm going to educate you on how cyber criminals are coming for all businesses, including yours. That's a conversation that I want business owners to have with their clients, whether their client is a daycare center, it could be a lawn service, it could be a school, whatever it is. When you're talking to them, your first meeting must say, I want to make sure that you are safe and secure as we do business together. I call it leading with safety. And then every single person is concerned about safety in business, and they see the headlines. And if you have someone who's approaching you who wants a contractor, who wants to get hired as a consultant or whatever, and that person is looking at you and saying, I know that's a concern of yours, but relax. I've got this. I've got training. I know what to look for. And not only that, but I'm going to give you the information so that your business is protected. Who do you think is going to get an edge when it comes to awarding that contract for whatever service you're offering? Who do you think is getting an edge?
That makes sense. That makes sense. And I know that you don't only train adults, but you also train kids. I know we talked about that at the very beginning, and you recently ran a 3-day hands-on AI safety training for kids that you just loved. I could tell from that look on your face. What do you learn from working with children that you think applies to adult learners, especially business owners?
What a great question. Oh, I had not thought about that. What a great question. Okay, here's the initial answer is that kids are open to learning. When I got to see the kids, again, I had the small group, the 5 and maybe 5 to 7 or 8, then the 8 to 11, and then the 12 to 15. So I had 3 groups of kids, and I got them for 3 days, and I got to spend an hour with them. And again, we did hands-on. What I noticed is none of the kids say, oh, I don't need this. What is this about? I don't care. I don't want to learn this. Every single kid's mind was open. They were all willing to hear what I had to say. So there were a few kids who knew a little bit about AI, but none of them had that attitude as, I don't need to hear this. I'm good. None of that. I get that with some adults. It's, we're good. But with kids, all of them had an open mindset, and that's refreshing. And and I learned it's different. And I've taught kids before. I've taught high school kids before my generative AI, and I had the ethics and safety program. And one thing that I notice is that kids are open, they're transparent about what they're thinking. And each of the classes, I hear them say, if we use AI, we're cheating. And so that's where I have to like stop. Let's get a different mindset. It's not cheating if you disclose that you're using the tool. It's not cheating. Every time you see me put up a screen on the board and I have a deepfake image that I created, I'm always crediting that. I'm telling you, this is my deepfake. If there's content, I'll say I use AI to write this. So the mindset of the kids right up front, it's like a blank slate. I'm saying it's not cheating when you do this. When I look at some adults say you're not really working if you're using AI, and they think that's cheating. So I have to say, stop. If you're using a calculator, is it cheating because you didn't do the math problem in your head? If you're using a laptop or a computer, is it cheating because you didn't write it out? No, it's a tool that we need to adapt. And that's why I love talking about ethics when I'm training, because I'm telling you it's not cheating, but here's the way to embrace the tools and use it in an honest way so that people know, first of all, that you're using it. So you're not cheating and doing it behind anyone's back. And then here's a way to incorporate it. With the kids, one thing that I did, Michelle, is I said, most schools will not allow AI at all. So that's a conversation I'm having with some school districts. They will not let the kids use AI, which I think is very sad because AI is here and those kids are going to get left behind. So whenever I get a chance to talk to kids, I'm excited. So just knowing that the school district will eventually allow it, I'm getting to talk to the kids and say, when it comes down to pike, here's how you use it in an ethical way. So I say, if you're going, one of our exercises was have AI do a math problem, okay? And it will give you the answer. And then the next part is to ask AI to show your work. So now you're looking at the math problem and the answer. Now you're looking at the steps that it took to get there. And that's how you learn. And when you're writing articles, we wrote a book, we wrote a story. And I'm saying you must look at the content that you produce, fact check it. When I showed them AI lying, I showed, here's a question, someone asked AI, look at the answer, it's all a lie. So you have to use critical thinking now. So you have to determine, is that all true or not? And here's how you go and do your research. So they learned how to research and find out whether or not something the AI produces is true or not. So they're developing critical thinking skills. So I want the schools to get on board, but parents need to be a part of this conversation too, because cyber criminals are coming for the young people. They're coming for all of us, to be honest with you. And it's level playing field there because the kids don't see it coming and adults don't see it coming. So it's scary, but with education, we remove the fear and people don't have to be afraid of any tools.
Mm-hmm. And you're actually the cybersecurity chair for the Kansas City AI Club, are you not? And you're helping lead one of those top AI communities in the country. So what lessons from building that community can help solo entrepreneurs create safer digital environments?
And that's what I am. I'm a solopreneur as well. I'm on the board of directors of the KCAI Club, and I'm the cybersecurity chair, as you said. And then here in Kansas City, we have a STEM initiative for young people called We Code KC. And it's all about kids in underrepresented neighborhoods. And their goal is to reach the kids who no one else is talking to about this technology, the kids who are going to be left behind. So I am proud to be their safety and ethics lead to make sure I get education into the communities that normally wouldn't hear about it and who don't know about it. So the lesson learned is that I guess I'm just seeing overall people are not getting it. People don't understand that this is real and the cybersecurity concerns are real. One thing that I do is I read a lot of news and I can't turn it off. So when I see headlines coming through, it's like I use this news story to reach out to people to say this could happen to you. I just wrote a big article on pig butchering. And when people hear that, it's like, what on earth is that? Pig butchering is a crypto scam. So what happens is, and this is typically called a romance scam, and now it's in the business world. So they find a target, and in the cases, the article that I just wrote, it's real estate agents. So they're saying, hey, I'm a cash buyer, a luxury buyer. I've got 1, 2, 3 million in cash, and I want to buy a property. And the agents, wow, you must be doing well. And then they say, let me teach you what I'm doing. And so at that point, they say, here's how you invest. Open up this app, download an app, open up this crypto investment app, and then invest money. And so that's legitimate. You're opening your own app, so they're investing money. And they'll start with a small amount. and then they see the money there, they can see it growing, and then they will invest a little bit more. So they're looking at their account, the money's growing. And then they see that they can withdraw the money. So at that point, they're thinking, okay, this is legitimate. And keep in mind, this happens with real people, romance scams. But right now, the business world is seeing this. And so then they're encouraged to invest more and more. One of the stories, the person lost like $800,000 because she could see the money going in and she saw her account grow. She was able to take money out. And then the criminal said, okay, now let's put 150,000 in. And at that point, you're thinking, this is legitimate. This is fine. This is my app. I'm fine. And then there's that underlying website that you have to go to, and that's where the crime occurred. So you're thinking, I set my own app up, and this is my app, just like my bank account, no problem. But when it moves you to that secondary site, that website, that's where the crime occurs. So in the cases of the two people that I interviewed, when it was time to withdraw the money, because they either started feeling a little weird or it's just time to get it out, then the criminal, who by then had befriended them, this was their friend, right? So the criminal says, I got to pay a security deposit to get your money back. That's when the red flags were raised, and that's when they knew something was wrong. The money's gone. At that point, the money's gone. So that's a conversation that I see in the business world, and that's a conversation that I'm having that I want to have more and more after that big story. In the real estate industry, I want to say it was 60 agents lost $15 million. So my goal is to reach the real estate industry, but that's in other industries as well. And that's, again, romance scams. So regular people, and if you ever search romance scams on YouTube, get ready for your heart to be broken. If you search grandparent scams, get ready for your heart to be broken. It's the same thing. People may be lonely. People befriend someone who they think is a friend, and they build up that trust, and they get to like them, and they feel comfortable with them. And then they start sending the money to buy crypto or even just money or cash. And it's heartbreaking how many seniors have lost their life savings, their retirement money. And these are all preventable, and they're preventable with education. So that's why I don't have a voice now. I talk too much. But that's why I am more enthused to get to talk to more people, because all of us are touched by that, Michelle. Every single one of us, it can happen to us, and we think it'll never happen to us or someone like us. It can, and it does.
Yeah. And you've mentioned that you actually have a new Gen AI cybersecurity program. Can you give us a little sneak peek into that and what that includes?
And so the one that I've been doing is the show and tell and how to use it safely. But now I've done a lot of research on scams and frauds in the AI world. And so now my new class is the anatomy of a scam and a fraud. I am talking about the romance scams. That's all of us. I am talking about the pig butchering, which is romance and business scams. I am talking about title theft. You're living in your house. You think everything is okay. And then the next thing you know, you found out someone has purchased your house right from under you and you didn't know it. So I'm saying what to look out for there. I'm talking about land scams. If you have a vacant lot, or if you have a house that's vacant and you don't pay attention to it, someone again can come in and pretend to be the owner. And I'm finding this in the AI world. They're creating deepfake videos. They're going to meetings saying, I am the owner, I am selling this lot. And someone's looking at the video and they think, okay, here's a real person. They don't know to question that it may be a deep fake. When people hear that Graceland was almost stolen by a criminal, that gets their attention. So after Lisa Marie died, her daughter, which would be Elvis's granddaughter, owned it. So a criminal had created these documents. I don't know if they use AI, but they very well could have created legitimate documents. And they went to Elvis's granddaughter and said, your mom pledged this as collateral. She did not pay it back. Give us our house. We're talking Graceland. Fortunately, the judge was smart enough to do some digging and understood here is a criminal who tried to steal Graceland right from under us. So my new class is Anatomy of a Scam. And I'm thinking if people can see, I'm going to break it down for you so it's not just the headline, Graceland stolen. You think, it couldn't happen to me. It's happening to tons of people here. If you think romance scam or the business scam can't happen to me, it's already happening. And the grandparent scam, that's one a lot of people know about because we grew up with that story. I don't know if you remember it, but even before AI, we heard about these criminals calling older people saying, this is your granddaughter, your grandson, and hey, grandma, can you please wire me some money? I've been in an accident or I'm in the hospital, but don't tell mom. And so the grandparents were wiring money because they thought it sounds like my grandkids, so I better be on the safe side. So imagine AI's role. It takes 3 seconds of your voice in order to make a deepfake voice impersonation. And I'm not saying a voice that sounds like your voice. I am saying your voice. So if Michelle calls a friend and says, hey, this is Michelle. Hey, Michelle, how are you doing? Hey, I need you to send me some money really quickly. Just cash out me. I've got a new cash app. Could you just send me $50? I'm here at the store and I can't find my wallet. If you'll just do that really quickly, I'll pay you when I get out. If they don't know about voice deepfakes, your friend is going to cash app money to a criminal. You'll never get it back. So I am saying it is touching all of us. It's not just the grandparents anymore. If someone duplicates a parent's voice, this is what I talk to the kids about. They duplicate a parent's voice and say, hey, kid, this is your mom. Not kid. Hey, this is your mom. I'm outside. Can you come out to the car real quick? I'm in a different car. Come out. I've got something for you. And then you can go back in and watch TV. If your kid hasn't been aware and know that that's a possibility, they're going out to a car where they think their mom or their dad or their friend is. And that's not a good thing. So I am all about awareness. If you at least know to question it. So I told the kids, have a code word. Your family should have a code word. I need to talk to the parents. This is for businesses. Have a code word. If someone calls you to pay an invoice or to do something to do any kind of transaction, hey, I need you to send a gift card. If someone calls you, if they don't know the code word, hang up. Every business, every family needs a code word.
Yep. And that's what I'm wondering. Do you think that with AI and business, is there some new generation of AI first cybersecurity tool that people need, or is it really just more about smarter human behavior?
Yes, it's a people problem. It's a human problem. Again, this device is not going to infect itself. My phone will not infect itself. Your laptop will not infect itself. It takes humans to click a link in that email that says, thank you for your $1,200 payment. If you didn't pay this invoice, click here to dispute it or call us, and then we will get you credited back. A human has to do that in order to be victimized. If you ignore that email, guess what? You're not a victim. If you get that text message that said, hey, your Walmart or your Amazon delivery has been delayed, click here to track it. If you click there, you're giving the criminal access to your devices and your information. Now you have a problem. If you don't click it and you know you've been trained and you go to your Amazon or your Walmart account and you check the delivery status there, you will not be a victim. I would say 99% of cybercrimes are preventable. 99% of cybercrimes can be prevented if you know better. And so that's why I am on a mission.
Yep. And what is one thing every AI user should do today to improve their digital safety?
I would say get training, but that should go without saying. Get training, learn how to use it in a safe way, and learn how cyber criminals are using it. But the one thing today is, first of all, get started. Get started, but once you get started, for those of you who are on the fence and you think, should I do it or not? Well, I'm petrified. Get started, but get started with some knowledge. So just from what you've heard me say today is enough information for you to know that you can get started. Pick up your device, get on your computer, sign on to Gemini, Microsoft Copilot, ChatGPT. If you have Canva, you already have AI, and create something. Take the first step, get started, but now you're not afraid because you understand that you cannot put personal information in. So that's a relief. You don't have to worry about someone stealing your information because now you know better. So create your prompt, which is your instruction. Create your prompt to write a social media post, but redact any specific names, redact addresses, redact any personal or private or financial information, and ask it to do what it has to do. And then you go back in, then you add it in after the fact. So you today can create a social media post using generative AI. You can do it today. And remember, before you copy and paste it, that you have to tweak it, make it your own. We don't want you accused of plagiarism. And then you must fact check it. So even though you told it, you need to make sure that it got everything right. So today, every single person can create a social media post in a safe manner. You can create an email, a marketing email, in a safe manner because you know what not to put in it. And then most importantly, you know what to look for. And I'm going on to number 2, but I don't want to do that. But I just want people to understand that criminals are using the tools the same way we're using them to create that social media post and that email. Cyber criminals are using them too to create social media posts, to create that email that looks legitimate. It's not no grammatical errors now. It's perfectly written. They have the links embedded there. So they're using them too. You see that picture and you see that video. Now you know. Now you know that you must question it. So you're not afraid. When you open that email and you look at it and it's perfectly written out, that it's not real, so delete it. And now if you get a video, you're in a video meeting and they're saying something that doesn't make sense and it's asking for information they shouldn't be asking for, either a phone call or video, now to question it. Hang up and call on a number that you know. So everybody, as of today, use AI, use it today, get started now so you can say you've used it. Once you try, you will be hooked and you will continue to use it. And then that's where everybody else is going to do. So you're leveling the playing field because your competitors are using it. So you might as well get on board and do it the right way.
And thanks to Tracey, you've got that hands up to do it. I love it. So what is next for you and your cybersecurity training programs?
I just got selected to go speak in New Jersey later this year. I just got selected to speak in North Carolina. I'm going to Indiana. So next is spreading the information far and wide. This is what I do. My full-time job is sharing safety and security information, whether it's safe work practices. I do it for real estate, for home health people, for field workers, for office people. I'm going next week. I'm talking to business owners. So my goal is to reach as many people as possible with safety information. Here's how you live safely. So that's the personal safety part. If you're out and about, have a safety plan, what to do if you're in a dangerous situation, have the scenarios in your mind, have a safety plan with the kids, what to do if someone approaches you. So I'm talking personal safety. I am talking business safety, and the generative AI, I have to say, that's probably what's consuming most of my time, because the financial crimes are coming hard. They're coming fast, and no one else is really, I know people are talking about it, but I like to think that I'm reaching people in a different way because I add the business building component, and I am a workforce development instructor at our local community college. And it's a pretty big one with 27,000 learners. So I get a platform there. I do virtual training. I travel all over the country. So if someone says, Tracey, come, I'm on the way. I just wrote an article for the largest trade association in the country with 1.4 million members. So my voice is there. So it's something I do. I create content. I write the articles for other people as well. I show up and I speak virtually or in person. And I'm an advocate for generative AI, but I'm also saying you also need the regular cybersecurity training. So woven into my class, I'm talking about no more passwords. Passwords are the easiest to hack. We're talking passphrases, which are two or more unrelated words, or it's a whole sentence, or better yet, AI, that's biometric, that's your thumbprint or your facial recognition. That's the most secure way for your devices and your accounts to be secured. And I'm talking about two-factor authentication. In order to log into an account over here, you have to get a code from an account over here, and cyber criminals will never have both. So that's a secure way. So I'm talking your regular cybersecurity, and I weave it into the generative AI because that better be a part of your cybersecurity training, or you're already behind.
Yeah. And where can people connect with you if they want to take advantage of your services?
This is going to sound awful, but people have told me, Google me. You can see Tracey the Safety Lady. You can Google Tracey the Safety Lady, or you can see Safety and Security Source, but I'm on all the socials. LinkedIn is probably my favorite now, LinkedIn and Facebook. So if you go to Tracey Hawkins, Tracey, Tracey Hawkins, Safety Lady, and you'll find my profile. Just click on that. Let's connect. That way you have access to the articles I'm writing. You can see my schedule, where I'm going next, and you can see the work that I'm doing, and you can reach me and say, hey, Tracey, we need that here. And like I said, I'm on the first thing smoking. So I love to drive. If it's driving distance, I'm driving. Otherwise, I'm flying. And Michelle, I have been known to take a train. So I may be taking an Amtrak to New Jersey. I love that trip.
Planes, trains, and automobiles. She will
All of
get
them.
to you.
No matter what, I will. And this is something, again, no matter how small the group, if people want to hear what I have to say, that's where I need to be. And some people think, oh, we're too small, Tracey, so you probably won't come here. I go everywhere. And I've had big groups, 500 and up, 800 and up. I've had small groups. All I ask is that you care about cybersecurity, you care to learn, and I am there, and I'm making sure you know how generative AI is playing a role in that. And everybody needs to be aware, whether you use it or not. Criminals are using it, so you need to get on board.
I absolutely agree. And somebody is going to be blessed by having your level of passion in the room. So thank you so much for being willing to share that with us today.
And thank you for giving me an opportunity to share it. I love that you're interested in this topic and you didn't just say, nobody cares about that. I love your curiosity about it. And I love that you see the value of me sharing this with as many people as possible. And thank you for the work you're doing overall for women, as far as, and even just the AI industry. We need people like you. So thank you.
Oh my gosh. I so appreciate your kind words. And I cannot wait to hear about your next adventure with this. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you for the opportunity. Everybody be safe.
Thank you for tuning in to Empowered by AI. If today's episode sparked ideas, don't wait. Follow the link in the show notes to visit innovativeaistudio.com and download your free resource, created to help you put today's insights into practice. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes packed with more tips, tools, and inspiring stories. Until next time, stay empowered and keep innovating.